Hello guys. How you all doing? Great to have you here as always. So I have a video here that I would love to react to that says women speak up about being child free by choice. Guys, let's get to it.
When you think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having
Valid.
kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would
Well,
I?
I'm asking you
I want to have kids. I don't see any benefit.
for giving somebody life.
You have a kid and
Okay, that means for someone giving birth to you, the person doesn't have benefits. Oh, does she sound right? I know it's okay. I know it's her right to have kids or not to have kids. But saying that she doesn't see any benefit of having kids shows that she's of no benefit because she's someone's daughter. Yes, she is. She's someone's daughter. So she's of no benefit to her mother. That's it.
your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
So when
Very,
you don't
very.
want children, one of the most common things people will say to you is that when you get old, you'll be alone. And I think a lot of people genuinely believe this. And I think part of the reason is that people don't realize how alone most old people are, even when they have children.
Yeah.
The stats vary, but somewhere around 60% of nursing home residents don't have any visitors in a given year. And most of those people have children. One of the benefits of being child-free is that you can't default to the assumption that there will just be people who have to spend time with you as you get older. You're very aware that relationships and community are things you're going to have to actively develop over your life if you want to have them as you age. But the truth is that is also something that people with children need to be doing. They just often assume that they don't. And especially as we enter an era where we understand that family isn't just like entitled to have you in their lives no matter how they treat you or make you feel, it's going to be even less guaranteed that just because you have children means they're going to be a big part of your life as you age. We're all at a high risk of being alone as we age, and it's not whether or not we have children. It's whether or not we treat people like
Here's my 10 reasons why I never want to have kids, not that a single person asked. I just like watching these videos. Number 1, I'm selfish. I think that a lot of people aren't happy to admit that they are selfish. They then have kids and then they do nothing but complain. By selfish, I mean I enjoy my own sleep, my own time and my own money, and kids take all of that away. So unless you're willing to give that all away, because kids deserve everything if you decide to bring them onto the planet, you shouldn't have them. And I'm not prepared to give all my sleep, time and energy away. All my money. Coming on to money, they're expensive. I know what it's like to grow up quite poor. I'd rather go on holiday than pay for a kid. My body image. Why do I want to push something out of my hoo-ha and expand my stomach and my cherries and everything else on me that's gonna just change? Number 4, the world is a bad place. The world is a really, really, really bad place. Do I really need to explain that one? Bullying, war, poverty, men with podcasts. Like, you can't control that. You can be the best parent ever and your child can seriously still grow up with some bad issues and bad things going on. A pandemic. There's a long list of things that can go wrong. Mental health. Tell me how you're meant to educate a child on what mental health is without giving them ideas about bad things that are out there, but without making them naive. You can't. There are the kids that grew up with mental health issues, and there are the kids that have no idea what mental health is. There is no in between. My family trauma. I've done a few TikToks on this. They went viral. If you're interested in my family trauma, feel free to go have a little look. If by some weird miracle I end up having a child and I actually like it, I will have to tell that child that some of my family members are unalive, even if they are here. Because I refuse to tell my children about some of the nasty people that I'm related to. It would genuinely be easier to tell them that they're not here. And I don't want to have to do that. So that's a very big one for me, number 6. Number 7, messy and snotty. Every time I see a child, they just got like crust around their nose, around their mouth. They just drool, they've got food everywhere, sticky fingers. I don't like that. I don't like that. Stay away from me. Number 8, I hate kids' TV. Your kids, 1, they don't need to watch cartoons. Pop on Vampire Diaries, please. Gossip Girl. What about some Friends? Kids' TV, we don't need to watch it. It's boring. It's boring. Number 9, they're annoying. Mummy, watch me do this. Mummy, did you see that? Mummy.
Oh my gosh, she cracks me up. Why make it sound like you fell from heaven? You were once a child. You were once a naughty baby. Don't make it look like you fell from heaven like an adult. You were once like that lady. Please be nice.
Mummy. Fuck off. They're just annoying. They just annoy me. In every sense of the word, they annoy me. They have no common sense. They can't drink. They have to go to bed early. They scream, they cry. They're annoying. Number 10's my favourite. I just don't want to. I just don't want to. Does anyone agree or disagree with any of these points? Let me know.
Yes, I am happy to share why I do not want kids. And for anyone who believes that any of the things that I'm about to list describe them specifically and they feel like because I don't want kids, it's somehow saying anything about their choice to have kids, decenter yourself from this situation. This is just one random person on the other side of the world who's just sharing their opinion. All right, let's go. Also, I'm going to mention that I could spend very, very long on each point, but I'm going to go very, very fast. There are things I'm going to leave out. Do not think that because I've left something out means it doesn't matter to me. I just don't want this video to be 10 minutes long, okay? From now, we can really go. Number one, I want my freedom and my money. Now, you might be like, Shalom, I have freedom and I have money and I have a child. Great for you. The kind of freedom I'm looking for, a child cannot fit into that kind of freedom. I have seen people have freedom by putting their kids in boarding school and being like, oh, I really don't have kids for most of the year. That is not my kind of parenting that I would want to be. Number two, money. I know I'm going to spend on those kids. If I were to have kids, they would take all my money. And I don't feel like I want to have to develop that kind of self-control. Do you get what I mean, okay? Number two, I want to be a secondary village for my people. What does that mean? It basically means that when my people, my siblings, my loved ones, when they want to drop off their kids somewhere, I am that person. I want to be that person. I don't necessarily hate kids. I don't enjoy kids. I like their kids. I'm that kind of person. We exist and we are happy to exist. I just don't want to be the kind of person who like, oh, you can never drop your kids off my house. You can totally drop your kids off my house. Your anniversary is coming up, drop them off. You need me to go pick them up? I will be the village. Everyone's talking about there's no village. I am going to be the village for my people. And God forbid it, do not make it come true. But if for some reason they were to pass away, I am the person who they know I've got their kids back. I will take those kids on like they were my own. The Lord, do not do it. Do not do it. They will not pass early. The next one, I don't want my body to go through that. I don't think that requires much explanation. I don't want my body to do that. Very simple, doesn't need more. Next one, I don't believe motherhood is a journey that I want for myself. And you might be like, Shalom, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I am so happy for you. I actually, let me just put this out there. I don't think I'll be a bad mom. This is not about me think I'll be a bad mom. I would be an amazing mom, but I just don't want that for myself. I could also be an amazing data scientist. I'm not going down that path for myself. Do you get what I mean? There's many things I can do with my life. This doesn't mean that everything that I do, I'm going to be amazing at it, but I just don't want motherhood. Someone once gave this very comforting quote that you don't have to enjoy every single part of raising a child. Like you might like the baby stage, but you're not crazy about the toddler stage. You might like the teenage stage, but you're not crazy about that whole they move out the house or college stage. It's okay not to like every single section. It's a problem when you don't like anything in that whole span of that child's life. And I don't think I would. But I still, like I said, I still love my people's kids, but every single day dealing with that stuff, I just don't it's not going to be an enjoyable experience for me. Okay, it's not enjoyable. Next point, I'm part of the team that believes that the only people who should be having kids are the people who actually want them. Kids know when they weren't wanted. Kids know when they were either a surprise or a mistake. We can all talk about those things in our own time. Trauma. So I just don't think I want to trauma dump on that child. Them being around and they can clearly tell I didn't want them. That's not fair, guys. That's not kind. Next point might be a little bit confusing, so let me explain. The next point is that I have good parents. Now, you might be like, Shalom, you have good parents. Why not does that make you not want to have kids? Because I've seen what it takes. I've seen how much kindness, sacrifice, patience, understanding, love, commitment. Guys, it is a lot of work to be a good parent. And I'm very grateful. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever get me wrong. I'm very grateful, but I do not have what they have. I don't have that ability, and I want to be a good parent as well. So I just don't think, if I'm not capable of it, why on earth should I go down that path? Do you get what I mean? And let's not even talk about the relationship you two have to have together. You have to be very in love with your partner. I don't want to be a single parent. Let me put that in this point. I don't want to be a single parent. I feel like kids base their love off of the one they see from their parents. I have a very good vision of love. My parents have shown me what real love can look like. My standards are very, very high. So that means if I'm getting a partner who I'm now I'm gonna put a kid into that. Absolutely not. Next one, real quick. I can't risk having a terrible child. Now you might be like, Shalom, how do you know you're gonna have a terrible child? I'm not judging people who have bad children. I might also raise someone who just turns out to be terrible. But then the fact that you make your terrible son my problem is how I know I shouldn't be going down this path, because you guys are acting like parenting is the most easiest thing. Yeah, I popped you out. I put food on your back. Food on your back, food in your belly, clothes on your back. So that means I'm a good parent. I don't want to deal. I'm seeing the consequences of bad parenting in our age group. I'm hearing what my generation is doing with the parenting styles. The teachers are out here complaining, and I want to be like, let me add my 2 cents in there too. No, let me save you guys from having another bad parent. Sometimes you just know what you're capable of. You know what you want for yourself. I'm saying it out loud. I'm saying it like, hey, this is what I want. And then everyone's just like, don't worry, you're gonna be an amazing mom. Like, look at my child. They've changed me. I am so happy for you.
40, you're gonna want kids. Stop saying y'all don't want kids. That's a damn lie.
Have you considered that some men don't want to have children? They just want to make children. They don't want to raise them, but they want their child to carry his last name.
Amen, sister. Exactly. This is the major reason why we have so many single parents, so many single mothers in our societies. They want to have children, but they don't want to be a good dad. They don't want to stay around. They don't want to stick around and do the sacrifice, do the upbringing. So many of them want children to carry their last name for bragging rights. I have children. I have a 15-year-old child. I gave birth quite young. I gave birth when I was young, much younger. Now I have a child to grow up with, forgetting that there are sacrifices to be made. There are prices to be paid. They will leave it all alone for the women to do. And it's not cool to raise a child. It's not cool for one parent to raise a child alone. Like, it's not easy at all. Those men don't want to be held accountable. They want to be committed. They just want to go about pregnant women and leave their child. You can do better. Guys can do better. I respect these women. I respect their opinions. Their points are all valid. But when you give them a reason to have children, when you show them, give them the care, yes, I'm here for you. Let's be committed. Let's be intentional about having children. They will be willing to do that. They'll be willing to do that with you. But once they don't see that you're committed, they wouldn't want to go down path alone. It's draining. It's not easy at all.
Some men only have children because they'll have a built-in maid, cook, house cleaner, shopper. But have you also considered that some women don't want to have children because they fear a lack of support, being high risk for postpartum depression, fear of not being able to recover mentally or physically because of the changes incurred by pregnancy? Having a child isn't a game at all.
It costs anywhere between $100,000 to $120,000 to send one child to daycare here in the state of Massachusetts until they reach public school age. So from ages 0 to 5 years old, you'll be paying about $20,000 a year for your kid to go to daycare or any form of childcare, whether that be a nanny or a nanny share. That's the cost. That is the average cost here in the state of Massachusetts. It varies throughout the country. Some states are much more expensive, some are much less expensive, but $100,000 is the average cost to have one child in childcare. So when we talk about declining birth rates, this is a huge factor. Millennial parents and millennials in general cannot afford to have children because we already know that the cost to raise a child currently, as it's stated, is $237,000 to raise your child to the age of 18. This does not include college. This does not include any extra activities, no after school activities, no sports, nothing. $237,000. Now you take that and you multiply it by multiple kids, it becomes very unsustainable very quickly. Then you add on college. College tuition alone is $100,000 these days. So now you are not only paying $100,000 for childcare, $100,000 to raise them on the bare minimum, which is like food, healthcare, clothing, and then $100,000 for college. Families cannot do it. They can't do it. And so they're choosing not to. They're opting out, which I totally get because that's an insane amount of money. Childcare alone is inaccessible and unaffordable. Even if you can find childcare, which is very difficult to do, it's questionable as to whether or not you can afford it. And the cost continues to rise. It's the thing that is rising the most compared to all other expenses for families. Childcare is rising faster than everyone else or everything else. It's rising faster than home costs, electricity, groceries. It is the fastest rising cost. So people are choosing not to have children because they cannot afford it. And it's obviously always been the case that having children is expensive, but it is the most expensive decision a family will make. It is the most costly decision. I think it has a bigger financial impact than owning a home or buying a car or like any of those big decisions. Having a child is the one, right, that will impact you financially in the biggest way. And one of the biggest reasons is because of childcare. And we have a country that does not support parental leave. It does not provide any sort of funding or infrastructure around childcare to support families. Like, there is nothing to support families. And so that birth rate is probably going to keep dropping because also we know that salaries are not changing. Inflation's rising, childcare is rising, home prices are rising, interest rates are rising, and our salaries are staying the same. And I can bet you that if that stays the same, people will continue to choose to not have children.
After listening to these women, the only thing I can say is that I respect their opinions. I understand where they are coming from. I feel that the society has really influenced their choices. I understand that and I respect them. But it's a different thing altogether when it comes to Africa. It's a different thing entirely. In Africa, where I'm from, especially in Nigeria, women can do everything they can. They will do everything and anything they can to be a good wife to a good man and to have a child, not even a child, to have children of their own. Even those that are not good men, they will do everything they can. Once they get married, they will want to have children. They will have to have children as much they can take care of. That's because the society has made it look like once you are married, you don't have a child, you are not woman enough. You're not yet a woman, you're a man. And when you're of age, you are not married. They will look down on you. They have a special treatment for wives and for mothers. And again, if every woman have the kind of mentality these women have, there won't be procreation. The world will end with us. And it doesn't make sense. In Africa, we believe life is in stages. The stage where you live your life, the life will be all about you. There's another phase where the life will be all about getting married, settling down, another phase of giving birth, another phase of training your children, another phase of reaping the fruit of your labor. That's just our culture. It's in stages. Nigerians, no matter where they find themselves, they always hold their value because they believe in reward. They will reap the fruit of their labor. Their children will reward them handsomely. Believe that once you find a good man that is ready to have a family, there shouldn't be any need to hesitate. So guys, hope you enjoyed this clip as much as I did. Hope you're able to learn one or two from it. See you on the next one. Please support your girl by watching, liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. See you on the next one. Bye bye.